What up, it's Nick, and today I'm going to show you an easy way to make some basses inside of Polymer. So when I say basses, I'm talking about like hybrid trap, dubstep type basses, because that's the kind of music I listen to, and that's just the kind of stuff I like making. I'm not an expert. So let's get that straight. I'm not an expert, so my lingo might be a little weird. You guys might know exactly what I'm trying to say, and I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just trying to show you how I do things and make my sounds in Polymer. And I do this a lot. A lot of my music is made with Polymer. I love this native Bitwig synth. It's awesome, but let's get right into it. So if you like the video, like it, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay notified for new videos. Let's go. Okay, I have this drum loop here, and then I have a instrument layer, and my instrument layer has Polymer in it, and it's pretty cool because this synth is pretty awesome. So if you don't know what Polymer is, it's pretty much like a wavetable. Well, now it's a wavetable synth. I think it's always been a wavetable synth, honestly. You have all these different settings. You have the pulse, sawtooth, sine, triangle, wavetable, phase, and swarm. I use wavetable a lot because I used to make a lot of stuff in Serum, and then I started using this and Vital a lot. I haven't really been using Serum much. I've been trying to get back into it, but it's been really difficult because I have all these other tools. What I will do is I will start with a simple Polymer instant preset, and then I will change it to wavetable. And then when I go to the wavetable, I will pick a wavetable that I think sounds good. So I'll go all the way through here, click something, listen to it, and then mess with the unison and then these other settings. You can use like fat, the focus, and the complex. They all do different things. There's detuned. You can have the denominator, the numerator. You can change all that stuff. It's amazing. You have phase on here. Polymer is just really cool. And then you can pick all your filter types. You have ADSRs. You have an ADSR down here. You have a sub down here. And the reason I don't have the sub on is because I like to make a chain, and I like to have a sub at the very end, and it will put nothing out but the low end. But we'll talk about that in a second. So anyways, after I make a sound, it usually sounds something like this. I'll turn off all the effects. It sounds like nothing. It sounds just like a tone. But that's how I start. That's just me. I always start with a tone, a sound, and then I always imagine what it could be, not what it already is, if you know what I mean. Because I don't have the exact sound in my head what I'm making. I make a sound, and then I'm like, this could turn into this, and that's my thought process. So that's the first one. Second one, I usually go for maybe a higher pitch tone, and it'll sound like this. It sounds good. It sounds really good, actually. You hear that? The side chain hitting, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that's the side chain. And then together they just have this, they just sound good together. And I really like the sounds together. So I'll make the first one, and then I'll duplicate to the second one, and then I'll change a bunch of stuff to the second one. And then I'll go back to the first one. This is very important. And I'll start putting plugins in it. I'll be like, okay, what can this be? What can we make this? And then I will start with like distortion. So also this, start with distortion. And I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Sounded better. This is a preset that I made of a bunch of plugins. It has dimension expander, flanger, phaser, delays, reverbs, and filters, a whole bunch of stuff like that. And usually I just control it from these macros that I've mapped them to. And this sounds like this. And I'm like, okay, it's getting better. It's getting better. It's always going to get better until you make it shit, and then you gotta backtrack and be like, okay, this doesn't sound good at all. So just letting you know. Then I put some comb on there. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting kind of alien, getting into that nasty dubstep hybrid trap sound. Sounds really good. And it's getting kind of loud, so I put that peak limiter on it to keep it at 0. I'll be like, okay, this sound sounds really good with these effects. And then I'll go to my second one and I'll do the same thing. I'll just add all those effects and I'll turn them on, and then I'll turn these off and let you listen to them. So I started with distortion like the other one. Added some more comb. And then added the same effects rack that I had. Made it real metallic-y, kind of metallic-y, reverb-y sounding. Sounds really good. And then together they sound like this. Still sounds like nothing. But we're getting there. So eventually I'll get to a pretty good sound and I'll end up liking it. And then here's the sub. I don't know if you can hear that. Probably can't. But yeah, there's the sub. That's just for the low tones. I did nothing really. I put a sine, analog BD sine, and then some filtering, and EQ'd it. Only went up to 140 hertz from 32, and that's it. So outside of these plugins, like outside that's going to affect everything, is this distortion amp simulator that I got on Black Friday. It's pretty cool. It's really cool, actually. I really like this amp simulation. It's developed by Neural DSP. It's really cool. Really like it. Interesting to me. So it makes it sound really cool. So I'll press play with the sound, and it sounds really unique. And be careful, because your CPU will go really high when you have a bunch of plugins and you use a bunch of different instances of Polymer. Like, look at my CPU right now. That's high. That's getting real high. That's getting like super high. That's what it sounds like. And then I'm like, okay, I don't want a straight sound that it's just gonna keep going. This is the magic right here. Shaper box. Shaper box is the magic because you add rhythm to it. Look at this craziness that I added to this, and it sounds cool. Like, all I did was drew all of this in 4 bars, because that's what I set the MIDI to, 4 bars, and I put it to use pretty much. It sounds great. Listen to this. Really distorted because my CPU is really bugging. So what we're going to do is we are going to bounce this down to audio. So we're going to bounce it from Shaper Box 2, and it's going to lay out all the rhythmic parts, and that's what it looks like when it's all bounced out. And give it a listen. And then I'm like, yes, that sounds good. Let's add some drums. And then you add some drums, and then you have yourself a pretty good banger. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay notified. If you really did like this video, tell me, because I have a lot of different ways that I approach designing sounds and stuff, and I would probably going to share them with you over time. I just want to know what you are interested in. Are you more interested in making drums, making impacts, making more basses like this, making, I don't know, anything, flute sounds, I don't know. But yeah, I really like experimenting and stuff, but I've been doing this for a while. Like, I think it's been a year. I've been using Polymer for like a year, I think. Yeah, I think it's been a year. And I've just been putting out music. A lot of the music you hear from me is made, the basses are made like this. This is the process. And it's all from a native plugin inside of Bitwig Studio. And it's awesome. But anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Peace, bye.